Did you know some people actually think they can just give money or assets to their loved ones without worrying about anything, taxes or legal complications? Well, it's not that simple, because without proper planning, it could leave your family dealing with unexpected tax bills or, even worse, losing control over those gifts. But there's a smarter way to do it, and it's called a gift trust. If you've never heard of it, don't worry, you're not alone. Today, I'm here to break it down in plain and simple terms. I'm Rich Smith, and I help people like you make sense of financial planning and gifting strategies. Understanding the power of gift trusts is so important because they can help you not only give, but also save on taxes and keep some control over your wealth. So, if you want to make the most of your money while securing your family's future, you're in the right place. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a gift trust? Well, a gift trust is like a safety net for giving. It's a legal arrangement where you, as the giver, place money, property, or assets into a legal container called a trust, specifically for the purpose of benefiting somebody else. For example, like your kids or grandkids. Basically, think of it as a way to give a gift, but with rules. Now, the trust holds the assets, and a trustee, kind of like a manager, manages them according to the rules you set up. But here's the best part, and I'll go into more depth later, but once you've made the gift, it's no longer technically yours. So this can drastically reduce inheritance taxes or even avoid them altogether. Oh, and at the same time, it allows you to have some control over how and when the assets are used. This should be sounding pretty good, but let's dive even a little bit deeper. You see, gift trusts are usually used for passing down wealth, planning for taxes, and making sure a significant gift is being handled responsibly. Whether we're talking cash, property, or other investments, this kind of trust helps protect those assets, and it makes sure they're used the way you intended. So that's the short version of what is a gift trust. Now let's continue to dive deeper into what makes them truly so special. The first thing is control. Even though you're giving a gift, you still have some say in how it's used. That means you can set up rules like money can only be used for education, or don't release the funds until they're a specific age, like 25 years old. It's essentially like putting guardrails on your gift to make sure it's used wisely. Now, next, there are tax benefits, of course, and that's where it gets really interesting, because by transferring those assets into the gift trust, they leave your estate, which means they're not included towards inheritance taxes. Now, that could mean significant tax savings for you and your family. Also, there's the benefit of asset protection, because a gift trust can protect your assets from being misused or lost altogether. For example, let's say the person you're gifting to has financial troubles or gets into major debt. The trust can ensure the assets stay safe and aren't allowed to be taken away by creditors. And don't forget about flexibility. Gift trusts are incredibly versatile. They can be used for all kinds of purposes, like I mentioned before, paying for a child's education, even supporting a family member with special needs, or even just being a part of a larger, more broad estate plan. But here's the one thing I want you to keep in mind. Most gift trusts are irrevocable, meaning once you've placed the assets in the trust, you can't just take them back. Now, I know this might seem restrictive, but it's actually what allows for all those great tax and legal benefits. Think about it like this. Gift trusts are a way to give with a purpose, and they help you pass down wealth in a really smart, thoughtful way. It benefits not only your loved ones, but it also protects your own legacy. Now, let's discuss how they actually work and break it down step by step so it's super easy to understand. First, you need to decide what to put into the trust. Again, this could be money, investments, property, or some other kinds of assets. But again, just remember, once you transfer these assets into the trust, you no longer own them. Okay, so next, you need to set the rules for how the trust operates. This includes everything from deciding who the beneficiaries are, Those are the people who will benefit from the trust, and when and how those people will receive the assets. Again, for example, you might say the funds are only for college tuition, or they can only be released in small amounts over a specific period of time. Now, once you have all the rules set, you need to appoint a trustee. Remember, this is the manager of the trust, so it could be a family member, it could be a trusted friend, or it could even be a professional like a lawyer or a financial institution. The trustee's job is to follow your instructions and make sure the assets are handled properly. Once the trust is finally all set up and running, the trustee takes over the management and makes sure everything runs according to your rules. They can invest the funds, they can pay out the money when needed, or they can simply hold on to the assets until a certain time. The true beauty of this setup is that it takes the pressure off of you to manage everything. Plus, it provides a set of structure and clarity for how the gift is used. It's like creating a beautiful roadmap for your gift so that it gets to the destination the way you wanted it. Now that you know how it all works, let's dive into the advantages of gift trusts. You see, it's not just about giving, it's about giving wisely. Now, if you know me or have been following this channel for a while, one of the first benefits we need to talk about is tax savings. One of the biggest perks of gift trusts is the potential to save on taxes. That's because by placing assets in a gift trust, they're no longer part of your estate, which can reduce or even eliminate inheritance taxes. Of course, all this depends on current laws of where you live and your net worth, but overall, this could save you and your loved ones a ton of money. Number 2 is control and oversight. Even though you're giving the gift, you still get to set the rules. This means you can decide how the money or assets are used, making sure they're spent responsibly and even for specific purposes. Number 3, asset protection. A gift trust protects the assets from risks like mismanagement, divorce, and especially creditors. If the beneficiary gets into financial trouble, the trust ensures the assets stay safe and can't be somehow taken all away. Oh, and up next, something I should mention is simply peace of mind. Just knowing that your wealth, your gift is in good hands and being used the way you intended it, that's a huge relief. I mean, I'm joking here a little bit, but gift trusts give you that warm, fuzzy feeling of security. Well, of course, also benefiting your loved ones. And number 5 is flexibility in planning. Like I mentioned before, gift trusts are versatile. Whether you're planning for a child, want to support someone with special needs, or just plain reduce taxes, you can customize the trust to fit your goals. So bottom line, a gift trust is a smart way to share your wealth while keeping things organized and protected. But as with anything, there can be downsides, so let's talk about a couple of those. As great as gift trusts can be, they're not perfect. So keep these few things in mind before setting one up. The first is irrevocability. Most gift trusts are irrevocable, which is really just a big fancy word that means once you've placed the assets into the trust, you can't take them back. Some people might think that's limiting, especially if your financial situation changes later on in life. And of course, another thing to consider is complexity and costs. Setting up a gift trust isn't as simple as just giving someone some cash. I think you know what I mean, because this really isn't something you just want to DIY on the weekend. For example, you're going to need legal documents, a trustee, and competent professional help from a lawyer to help set all of this up. So that time and those costs is something to keep in mind. All that's to say, despite any drawbacks, gift trusts can be fantastic financial tools, seriously worth checking out. One important thing I want to bring up is tax rules are always changing, and trying to keep up with them is important when it comes to setting up a gift trust. For example, one major update is the increase in the annual gift tax exemption. At the time of this recording, you can gift up to $19,000 per person per year without triggering gift taxes. This means you could gift that amount into a trust for each child or grandchild, each year. And then, of course, you're slowly moving those assets out of your taxable estate. Another change that's been in the news is the potential lowering of the estate tax exemption. You see, currently estates valued around $13 million or so per person are exempt from federal estate taxes. But this amount might be cut in half or even more in the near future. So basically what I'm saying is that by locking in today's higher threshold limits by gifting assets into a trust, you could be saving yourself and your family millions of dollars. So if you're thinking about setting up a gift trust, here are a few easy tips to help you get started. The first one is plan early. The sooner you start, the more you can take advantage of tax-free gifting limits and investment growth. The next one I'd say is get expert help. Meet with an estate planning attorney to make sure your trust is properly set up and fits all your goals. And the last one would be simply be clear about your wishes. You need to decide how you want the funds to be used. For example, milestone moments in life, generational long-term financial security, or simply education. No matter what it's going to be, think about those and then put them in writing. If this looks like something that would be a good fit for you and your family, then I'd encourage you to take action today. I'll leave a link in the description of this video to help you get on the right path. I'm Rich Smith, and I help people like you learn about financial strategies that help you grow and maintain your wealth. If you want to dive even deeper into the world of gift trust, then I invite you to check out that link in the description. And I'd love to hear from you, so leave me a comment about why you think a gift trust is important, or just let me know what you want to see next covered on this channel.